Y volvemos con el pollo policía. Pues cargar partida.
We had to gather ourselves, take a deep breath, and think over what we knew so far. What the chickens had I got myself into? What had I dragged Marty into? Moreover, what had we pulled the whole city into? This was going to be one of those cases that changed things forever. But I wasn't worried about myself. It didn't matter to me. Too many pieces had been plucked off this old rooster. But Marty's different. He's too good of a bird and too good of a cop to end up like me.
Tengo que preguntarle,
So
vale.
what exactly is this place?
A few hours drive from here, in the middle of nowhere. It's a creepy old mansion, of course.
You think it's a good idea to go there? What if it's a trap?
I told you, you can still go back.
Oh, wouldn't you love that? No such luck, boss. If I get killed or locked up forever in an insane asylum, that's gonna be on you.
¿Seguís por aquí, chicos?
Thanks, pal. I deserved that.
Still
Natasha.
trust her?
Al toque. ¿Aún confías en ella?
I never trusted her, Marty.
I mean,
Que
you
como...
believe her?
tampoco se puede creer mucho en Natasha sabiendo que nos había ocultado cosas.
I'm sure she was honestly afraid. People don't fake it that easy. But I can understand why she didn't tell us about her former profession.
Or how she knows Molly.
Yeah, that too. And the death of Deborah complicated things even more.
Hey, Sonny, she didn't seduce you, right? I mean, Natasha.
Ah, don't be stupid, Marty. My old ticker hasn't been beating for a long time. Not that way, anyway.
Seguramente si ve a Molly,
Yeah,
sí.
all right, boss. So what do you think happened to the corpse?
Es verdad, tener en cuenta que nos encontramos un cuerpo también. Bueno, no, nos encontramos la pulsera de un cuerpo.
Probably been eaten. Horrible to think about, but even if half of what they say about the hive is true, starvation, riots, arson, predation.
You're telling me. Makes my feathers stand on end when I think about what goes on in there. And we pretend we don't know about it. As if Roachtown isn't even part of Clawville.
This won't end well. I'm afraid soon Clawville's gonna burn once again, and because of its own foolishness.
Well, that's if another meat war doesn't break out first. 'Cause then, the whole wilderness will burn.
Lovely prospects, eh?
Either way, it was a damn clever move for Westler to hide the body in Roachtown.
It's the
Oh,
only
sí.
place no one will ever find it.
Like the belly of a burning ship.
Oh, I think that was an intentional red herring.
Sounds about right. Who'd have
Por
thought?
los Streamlabs.
I believed that little rat. I thought he'd changed. Idiot.
There's a point when it's too late to change, Marty. His past caught up with him. Whatever he did since then doesn't matter.
Not much.
And that's the case with us, too. That's why I won't back down. Even though a voice in my head is screaming right now, leave it all to hell and have another drink.
Manda todo el caso a la caca y sírvete una
Maybe we
copa, ¿no? O
should
sea,
do that.
emborráchate.
Maybe we should.
Pero no, ya habéis llegado demasiado lejos como para quedaros ahí. La Gran Guerra de la Carne fue el mayor y más encarnizado conflicto de la historia conocida de Natura, que duró desde el 822 hasta el 849. Al principio solo se vio afectada Alterra, el continente de dos cabezas, pero en sus últimos años se expandió a 12 provincias coloniales, incluidas las 4 de Clawville. La Guerra de la Carne le costó la vida a entre 80 y 90 millones de animales, y tras la guerra 27 especies se declararon extintas. Buah. ¿Y ahora qué
What
hago,
do you
Mari?
think, Marty?
What? You care what I think? You must have hit your head pretty bad.
Stop fooling around, Marty. I'm serious. So what do you think about everything?
Well, I think we're in deep shit. But to be honest, Ibn Wessler is in deeper shit.
Do you think he really murdered his brother? But why? And what does it have to do with Natasha and the threats?
Doesn't add up yet. Something's missing. Let's visit the institution and try to find out what we can about this Albert Wessler fella.
Exactly. If he's the
Ahora.
dead body, we've got to know what the motive was. If we can't, and if he's still alive, we gotta ask him directly.
And what do you think, Sonny?
I think Ibn, Albert, and Natasha are the three key players in this case, and that all of it has something to do with the brothel.
And the fact that Natasha used to be a courtesan?
Yeah, that too.
Listen, Sonny, about Molly.
Oh, just forget it, Marty, okay? She's not part of my life anymore. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Forget it. Let's concentrate on the case, and on making it out alive, and helping Natasha too.
Es que yo estoy segura que si encuentra a Molly... puede que quiera volver con ella o no sé, la verdad.
Whatever you say, Boss Bird. So you think Natasha's really in danger?
It could be, or she could even be behind everything.
No, you don't believe that.
I'm not sure what I believe, Marty.
No creo que ella
Let's
sea
see.
capaz de hacer eso.
Things got mixed up at the brothel.
He cargado tarde y me salen... Pero en el chat somos... Es que es algo que me resulta bastante raro. La cosa se enreda un poco en el burdel. Vale, Ethan. Se cree Natasha. Vamos, la cosa se enreda un poco en el burdel. Even descubrió que Natasha había sido una espía secreta de Siwas todo el tiempo. Natasha trabajó en el burdel y Siwas quiso mantener el secreto porque está con Even. Natasha era amante secreta de Zip e Even lo sabe. No. Natasha trabajaba como cortesana. Even ha intentado mantener el secreto. No creo que Eve le esté haciendo nada a Natasha, sinceramente.
Natasha used to work there, that's obvious. And Ibn wanted to keep that a secret.
Está claro que él la quiere. O por lo menos da a entender.
Who could it belong to?
Zip mató a alguien para mantener el secreto por orden de Ibn Wessler. La pulsera es la clave y la prueba de que Zip mató a alguien a causa del secreto de Natasha. Zip le robó la pulsera a Ibn Wessler. Zip se encargó del cuerpo y se quedó con la pulsera.
Somebody died for that secret. Zip hid the body, but he kept the wristband.
¿De quién podrá ser? ¿Alguien de la familia real? Ibn Wessler ha sido una mera marioneta de Siwas todo el tiempo. El cadáver era de Ibn Wessler, pero entonces, ¿quién es el asesino? Hay un cadáver tras un montaje y Zip está detrás de la artimaña. Albert Wessler, internado en
The
manicomio.
dead body was almost certainly Albert Wessler, a resident of an insane asylum. But why did he have to die?
Okay, so the picture is more or less clear. Ibn's got his brother killed because he learned Natasha worked in a brothel.
Well, that could be the case, but I believe the roots go deeper than that.
No creo que ese sea el motivo.
Which we'd only learn if we talked to him. I mean, if the corpse isn't him, because then we'd need a medium.
Es que lo mismo puede ser que hayan hecho como un intercambio, hayan hecho como que lo han matado, pero han matado a otra persona y lo han puesto a la pulsera de él.
Which would be exciting, but
No lo sé.
maybe it's enough if we ask the doctor who treated him.
That too, yeah. But where's the fun in that?
No me deja hacer otra cosa.
Hello. You've called the Let There Be Peace Forever mental institution for ill and damaged minds. What can I do for you, sir? Or madam?
Well, I'd like to inquire about a patient who I believe is being treated at your institution. His name is Albert Wessler.
I'm sorry, sir, but I can't give out that information if you don't have the password given to relatives. Do you have one?
Unfortunately, I don't have that. I'm not a relative. I'm calling from the Clawville Police Department.
Oh, I see. In that case, officer, I'd advise you to visit our institution personally. Our director and I would be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, miss. I guess I'll do that.
We'll welcome you with open arms, sir. Have yourself a beautiful starlit night.
Oh, thanks. Goodbye.
See you soon.
It's a trap. Pienso que nos van a ocultar bastantes cosas. Van a intentarlo. Estamos locos por ti. ¿Vienes a salvarnos?
We have to go there.
Ah, the thought gives me goosebumps.
Chicken bumps aren't good enough for you?
Ha ha ha.
No me puedo mover todavía. ¿Por qué?
A stack of papers. I've had enough stimulus.
¿Otra vez hablar?
So, I get the couch?
It'd be better if I called Lewis. He'll open up a room for you to sleep in.
Whew, great idea.
El número importante se me queda, ¿eh? El número de emergencias.
Hey, Lewis, it's me again.
Oh, hello, Sonny. What's up?
Were you sleeping, pal?
Me? Oh, I wasn't. Anyway, I'm always at your service.
Would you open up a room for Marty?
Naturally, Sonny.
Thanks, Lewis. I'm not even gonna say it.
I will. You owe me one. Again.
Yeah. Sorry for the mess, Marty. I rarely have visitors.
Don't worry about it, Sonny. I didn't expect anything else.
Thanks.
Ya nos podemos mover. Vamos a ver si hay otro sitio. No. Vale, no tenemos zona limitada, así que vamos al manicomio.
I slept like I used to sleep years ago. Like a miner or a soldier. Empty. Dead tired. Then I saw Tessa. My darling little daughter. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't recall her face. I reached out to her, but she just kept getting further and further away. Then I saw Molly But she wasn't real, just the ghost of a memory. I'm here, I cried, but all I heard was laughter. Not hers. Who's there? Suddenly, she appeared. Natasha. Just stood there laughing, but her eyes were cold. Then she said something. Painted red, painted red, painted red. That was just a dream, Sonny. Nothing more. I looked at Marty and I saw the same thing in his eyes as he probably saw in mine. It's time to hit the brakes, to turn back, go home and forget about all of this. Of course, I stepped on the gas instead. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything good, but this...
Vaya pesadilla.
Ooh, just like a horror movie.
I was thinking the same.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so. This picture...
It's very...
special?
Supone que este sería el rey y le está dando felicidad y jajaja a los niños. O no sé si son niños o no, no sé.
We should go to reception first. Let them know we're here.
This guy seems strangely familiar to me.
You don't say. You've been treated here too. That would explain a lot.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious. Take a closer look.
No.
Well?
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him? M.B. Davis himself?
I'm sure of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true. The eternal king of jazz in a madhouse.
Creo que en el despacho hay un cuadro de él.
Oh, no. The poor devil.
Even if you manage to escape, there's nothing but hills and forests for 100 miles.
Imagine how many poor lunatic ghosts must haunt those woods.
Ooh, Sonny, you're creeping me out.
Of all
Hola, buenas
the great
tardes.
wild ones,
Greetings, miss.
is it really you?
Well, yes.
Yes, it really is you, the chicken police.
I'm
¿Dónde
afraid
conocido?
so.
Of all that's furry and plumy, that's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
¿Que va a llorar y
Miss,
todo
we'd
la
like to ask-
muchacha?
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really excited. You know, I've read every book about you and your adventures, and I even collected newspaper articles when I was a little girl.
Gran interrogatorio tan grande que se sale de pantalla. Aquí falla algo, es una jirafa preciosísima.
Indeed.
You can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in person.
We really...
Oh God, oh God, oh God. Take a deep breath, Miranda. Take a deep
Es que se nos
breath.
desmaya la muchacha, ¿eh? Que le dan patatús.
Are you okay, miss?
Que le hagan algo.
Yes, I am. I just needed some air. So, dear detectives, Santino and Martin, what can I do for you?
Well, miss, we have some questions, if you don't mind.
I'd love to answer all of your questions, detectives.
Lo habrá desbloqueado. Agállalo como puedas.
Say, miss, what can you tell us about this place?
Our institution was standing even before the Great Meat War, and during the war, it was transformed into a military hospital. Since then, we're relentlessly working on treating injured minds under the leadership of Dr. Quetzal, the famous specialist.
Almas
The place
perturbadas.
seems pretty empty. Do many people work here?
We have 32 residents and 7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff, and, of course, the heart and soul of our institution, Dr. Quetzal himself.
I see. Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Exactly. Director, scientist, researcher, patron, and doctor. And even a friend.
Quite a guy.
Es una serpiente.
He certainly is.
So who is this Dr. Quetzal exactly?
He's a world-famous researcher of the mind, Mr. Featherland. He published countless books in the fields of psychology and psychotherapy.
Psycho what?
Unraveling the mind. It's the most crucial mission of the century, Mr. McChicken.
That's really good to know.
So this doctor's some celebrity, right? Does he usually meet other important persons?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Como capos políticos.
Well, like Mr. Hobart Wessler, for example.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but unfortunately, I don't think he has time right now.
He's swamped, is
Todos
he?
siempre están ocupados.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. He is very, very, very busy. All the time.
I thought so.
Pues tiene que tener tiempo para la policía.
What can you say about this, miss? Have you seen anything like it?
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But how did you come by it? They only wear them inside the institution.
Ya podemos confirmar que la pulsera es una de alguien que estaba aquí interno.
The wristband does belong to one of our residents, but I'm afraid I'm not allowed to tell you more due to regulations.
Es la poli.
Oh, come on, Miranda. It's us, the chicken police.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Miranda, this case is a matter of life and death. Lives are in your hands.
All right. All right. I'll do it. Albert Wessler. The patient's name is Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
Figures. Just as we thought.
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never forget this.
Please,
Es el hermano del capo.
don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Oh, we won't. I promise.
So when can we talk to Mr. Wessler?
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal. Please wait here.
Thank you.
Dr. Quetzal will see you. He's waiting for you in his office. Up the stairs, all the way down the hall, until the last door.
What a surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler's name and all the doors are open.
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but do you think Albert is in danger?
Danger? What do you mean?
We haven't heard from him since he disappeared, and we're really, really worried.
Vale, no saben su paradero. Saben que está desaparecido, pero no saben nada.
We
está
don't
muerto o
know
no.
yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all that's furry. I'll never get used to it.
Well,
¿Nunca limpian
reptiles
esto?
have a disgusting body odor, Marty, but they feel exactly the same about us.
Exactly. Great wild ones, you scared the hell out of me.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know, snakes have a different sense of smell, and birds used to be our prey once upon a time.
No me fío de este tío.
Well, yeah.
Nada.
Luckily, we're living in civilized times.
Lucky. Please take a seat. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Your office is rather Puritan. Simple, I mean.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, yes. I can't let my mind wander from my work. I only keep what's essential in my office.
I see. That makes sense. Is this cell like the others?
I would rather call it a room. But yes, it's like all the others, except there are even bigger ones than
¿Decide
this.
usar para su despacho una habitación más pequeña? Increíble, la verdad.
Why do you have bars on your windows?
Because it's a room like all the others, and I'm just an animal too, like all our residents.
With the significant difference of you being a doctor and not a patient. Am I right?
It's not as big of a difference as you'd think.
An isle of reason in a sea of
No
insanity.
entiendo nada.
Insanity is such a strong word.
Se me
and
acaba
it's
de ir el
mostly
HDMI.
an abstract idea. Where does insanity start? And how long is one not insane? Interesting questions. Am I normal? Or are you? Maybe neither of us.
You see, that's something I think about a lot nowadays.
If you like, I can give you an appointment.
Oh, this is your chance, Sonny. Don't miss it. We're already here.
Marty, clock up.
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise. I could even say I was expecting it.
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me. My name is Dr. Sessuous Quetzalcoatl, but most call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
Jesus, Quetzalcoatl. O algo así.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin McChicken, from
the Predatory Division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
We're used to it.
Certainly.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
Nos acaba de decir la enfermera que está desaparecido. O sea, ¿qué te va a decir?
Please be specific, detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
El HDMI
Very
es de
funny,
una
I
tienda
must say.
de aquí de
Just what
España,
I
¿eh?
expected from you two detectives.
No es de por ahí, no es de China.
We know you know it's about Albert Wessler, Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Ataca con problema de Express.
Well,
Todo en
yes,
AliExpress.
why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular medical case.
Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service. But you must understand, I can't disclose information about my patients.
Not even if it's a matter of life and death?
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Pero a ver, si ha desaparecido, nosotros tenemos... O sea, tenemos que tener información. Si no tenemos información, ¿cómo narices vamos a investigar el caso si no tenemos
Still,
nada?
I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
¿Qué?
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
For quite some time, his first symptoms surfaced in his teens. Depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Depresión, ataques de pánico y
Was he
esquizofrenia.
brought here immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
Then how do you sustain yourselves?
Se financiarán con el gobierno, supongo.
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III,
¿Eso?
of course.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
What kind of a place is this exactly? I assume it wasn't built as an insane asylum.
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century, until finally it went to the crown of Clawville when Hector's great-grandfather took the throne. The rest is history.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years, but
30
it's been in
años.
my family's possession for almost 150 years.
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
Eso sí, el edificio tiene 150 años y este ni se habrá molestado en ver si el edificio está en mal estado o no.
Almost
Ten en cuenta cómo está la
Mr.
habitación.
Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance.
Madame Sigues.
Tell me, Doctor, do you know Madame Zavas?
Sigues.
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
Vamos a interrogarle.
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle.
Entonces, ¿cuándo se internó a Albert en el centro? Dios, se ve muy raro desde así de frente.
So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
¿Qué calladitos estáis, chicos?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Could you describe that day more specifically?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible grey ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
¿Sentirían vergüenza por tenerlo a él?
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here, alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
¿Puede que no le gustase su familia porque tal vez lo tratasen mal?
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
¿Qué tipo de tratamiento recibió Albert? Dígame, ¿lo amenazó Ibn Wessler de alguna manera? ¿Qué tipo de tratamiento recibió Albert?
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr. Featherland.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
Esto es bastante creepy, estoy cenando pechuga de pollo. ¿Te estás comiendo un detective? Qué malo eres, ¿eh? ¿Pero? ¿Cómo se comunicaba Albert con usted? ¿Qué le pareció a Albert la primera vez que lo vio? ¿O cree que era una amenaza para los demás? No creo que fuese una amenaza. ¿Qué le pareció a Albert la primera vez que lo vio?
How did you see Albert when you first met?
Albert was shy and reserved, like a ghost. He almost never touched anything. It was evident he was exceptionally intelligent. He measured and observed everything around him.
What else?
He was delicate and graceful, almost like a woman. Yes. He was rather feminine. He was an artist, Mr. Featherland, a magnificent painter, and rather good writer, too. Sometimes I even heard him sing.
Why did he have to be locked up?
I asked the same thing at first.
Si sabía hacer muchas cosas bien, habría que ver... Bueno, ya lo sabemos lo que tiene. Era depresión, esquizofrenia y... ¿qué más dijo? No me acuerdo. Dijo otra cosa más. ¿Me está usted diciendo que Albert tenía personalidad múltiple?
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Que no era avaricioso, lo tenía todo.
Yes,
Todos los
Mr.
talentos,
Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
¿Se ha escapado?
Quetzal's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details.
¿Cuándo y por qué abandonó Albert el centro la primera vez? Entonces Albert podía entrar y salir a su antojo. ¿Cómo es que permitió a Albert salir de aquí? Hay cosas que no me está contando, ¿verdad? ¿Cuándo y por qué abandonó Albert el centro la primera vez?
When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time?
It was about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler appeared and demanded we let his brother go free. Naturally, we obliged. We had no idea if we'd ever see him again.
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic. He was unrestrained. I could almost say happy.
That was unusual for him?
I had never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland. He just smiled and stared at the empty wall for hours.
O sea que lo mismo fuera, había hecho algo y no sabemos el qué.
Did he ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relationship. He was working on a painting for his brother.
¿Estaba contento por pintar a su hermano?
Was it a painting of a lovely lady cat?
Oh,
Ah, vale, ya entendemos por qué estaba
So
súper
you
feliz.
already knew about that.
Yes, Dr. Quetzal, I've seen it.
¿Por qué estaba feliz? Porque la gata estaba en paños menores para hacer el cuadro. Le contó a Albert acerca de su relación con su hermano. Albert le ha hablado alguna vez de Natasha. Le contó a Albert cómo se sentía respecto al cuadro. Entonces Albert salió en varias ocasiones para seguir con el cuadro, ¿correcto? Vamos a decir eso.
So Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
More dangerous.
Albert was hurting himself, and on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely, piece by piece.
Algo le estaba haciendo...
Do you think
Le
the
estaba
painting
afectando
caused it?
fuera.
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
But its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed, right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but 2 of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean. And Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
What happened to him?
Apuesta de quién es la modelo. La modelo es Natasha. Ya sabemos qué cuadro es. Es el cuadro que tiene Natasha en su casa.
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out, or cut off, I don't know exactly, and he was blinded in one eye, or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
Was brought back horribly mutilated.
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened. They simply told me it was some kind of accident.
Sí, claro, por accidente uno se queda sin lengua y sin un ojo.
Dr. Quetzal is
Claro.
cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert. Focus, confused.
Puede que no resulte fácil hablar de ello, pero el examinar a fondo las heridas. No creo yo que lo de Albert fuera un accidente, ¿verdad? Los dos tipos que trajeron de vuelta a Albert, ¿podría describirlos? Sabemos quiénes son esos tipos. Así que... no sé si al grano, la verdad. Vamos a decirle... Es que no sé si... Puede que no resulte fácil hablar de ello, pero examinar a fondo las heridas, o no creo yo que lo de Albert fuera un accidente. Creo que vamos a decirlo de fondo de las heridas porque si lo hubiese examinado habría dicho, pues no era un accidente.
Maybe it's not easy for you to talk about it, but did you examine his wounds thoroughly?
I'm not that kind of doctor, Mr. Featherland, but even I could determine his tongue was either cut out or bitten off, and his eye was gouged out. He also had several broken bones.
¿Le habían arrancado la lengua o se la habían arrancado de un mordisco? También, o sea, le habían quitado el ojo y le habían roto también varios huesos.
But there's no doubt it wasn't an accident.
La habían pegado y encima mutilado.
I don't believe it was, Mr. Featherland.
I totally agree.
Céntrese, doctor, ¿qué cree que le ocurrió a Albert? Contrólese, doctor, ¿cuál era la condición de Albert después del incidente? Vamos a decirle la condición.
Pull yourself together, Doctor. What was Albert's condition after the incident?
Mind your tone, detective.
Sorry, Doc, but I can see you're disturbed by these memories.
How could I not be? I'm not a monster. We're talking about a mutilated animal here.
So, what was he like after the incident?
Even more silent than ever. No surprise, I suppose. He was not only silent in words, but also in his soul and spirit.
Vamos, que estaría eso, cerrado en sí mismo.
What do you mean by that?
He never painted anything again, and his seizures completely stopped.
That
Pararon
didn't
sus
get me
ataques.
far.
¿Qué ocurrió después? ¿Cómo desapareció Albert? He
What
perdido
happened
5
then?
puntos.
How did Albert disappear?
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then. We even had to transfer him to another cell, a more safe one.
What did Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was in an almost vegetative state by then.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out of him? You or Hobart?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps he was too afraid. And most likely his fingers had been broken too, so he couldn't even write.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
O sea, es que le habían hecho todas esas cosas a Albert porque Albert había visto algo que no debía. pienso yo que Albert sabía algo que no debería haber sabido.
It's horrible to
Y por eso le hicieron eso, para que no pudiese ni escribir ni hablar, ni tampoco hacer señas.
How did he disappear in the end? Did someone come for him?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland. He simply disappeared. His door, which only I had a key for, was open.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face of the wilderness. We don't know what happened to him.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor. You've been a great help.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must attend to my work.
We understand, Doctor. Thank you.
Vamos, detective genuino. Albert Wesley ha desaparecido. Tenemos una corazonada sobre qué puede haberle ocurrido. Pues que murió, supongo.
That's quite shocking information.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret. If it wasn't for Mr. Wessler's demand, we'd never let any of our patients walk freely outside our institution.
Then the accident happened.
Accident? Ha! We didn't believe it, not for a second. After Albert came back to us, horribly mutilated, he was different.
Todos sabemos que no era un accidente.
Different how?
If someone got one of his eyes poked out and his tongue torn out, he'd be different, but not like this. Albert was a different person.
We believe you, Doctor. So, can we take a look at Albert's cell?
Ahora nos deja echar un vistazo. Ha dicho que parecía una persona diferente. Eran gemelos. Puede que haya... Tengo una teoría que puede... que Albert sea Even. E Even sea el que esté muerto. Eso... o... que simplemente ha cambiado por el trauma que ha cogido.
I'd rather call it his room. Mr. Wessler lived in exceptional circumstances.
Thanks to the Wessler name, I guess.
Yes. Well, we try to make all of our patients stay as comfortable as possible, but Albert certainly enjoyed special favoritism.
I hope
Por
you
sé
don't
quién
mind
era.
if we take a look around in there.
That's not going to bother anyone.
Pues vamos a ver la
Well,
habitación.
that's surprising.
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind living here myself.
It seems that being a Wessler gets you privileges.
And a healthy dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around. I'm sure we'll find some answers here. I can almost smell them.
Well, I smell paint, ink, plaster, some kind of oil, aging paper, slight smell of rat, and great expectations.
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah.
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
Tufillo de alguna pista.
I'm on it, boss bird.
Oye, pues está... es pequeñita, pero lujosa a la vez, ¿eh? ¡Guau! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Supongo que esto será el manicomio. Y ojos. Un gatito. Wow, la ventanita
A
es súper
small
pequeña, ¿eh?
window, a small hope.
No way. Is this some kind of puzzle?
I don't think so. But we could still find something important here. A pattern, a sign, anything.
¿Qué es lo que tengo? No sé qué tengo que señalar ahí.
The style. It's very familiar to me.
Y el zorro con vestido amarillo lo he señalado, o sea, no me dice nada.
You've been lonely for far too long, huh?
No sé por qué.
Not funny, Marty.
Madre, el furro como león. ¿Fotos de furros? ¿Fotos de furros sale?
It is, a little.
Toma otro coleccionable. No sé cuántos me quedan ya.
You know, I don't think he had it so bad in here.
You mean apart from being separated from everyone you love in an ancient mansion filled with madmen?
You're right.
As always.
Vale.
Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman. Two men.
¡Ay!
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Two men and one woman. Nothing good ever comes of that.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Of all the wild ones, Marty, please, stitch up your beak, okay?
Just
Un triángulo
use your
amoroso.
imagination, old bird.
Pero un poco de la imaginación. Es que son gemelos. Es que yo pienso mi teoría. ¿Es esa?
Scribble.
Que se han intercambiado los gemelos.
Study papers, poems, perfect chaos.
Just like the troubled mind of a troubled fella.
Yeah, but there's still a kind of order in it. It's just too intricate for you to comprehend.
If you say so, boss.
Look at that. A letter.
Aquí no veo nada más. Y solamente me queda esto.
Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same
Es que
woman.
son iguales.
Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid he did exactly that.
Sé que no existo. No existo porque tú no me ves. Pero no sé, no soy lo que tú piensas que soy. No piensas en mí, ¿verdad? Nunca, no. Pienso en ti cada día, cada minuto, siempre en mis sueños. En mis sueños me he convertido en uno con él. Un alma. ¿Sabes en quién estoy pensando ahora, verdad? ¿Lo sientes? ¿Lo puedes sentir? ¿Puedes sentir que estoy allí también? ¿Contigo? ¿Lo sientes, verdad? No puedo mantenerlo por mí mismo más tiempo. Perdóname, por favor, lo siento. Pero no puedo ayudar. El mundo se está viniendo abajo. El mundo entero está rompiendo y rompiendo. Todo se está rompiendo alrededor mía. Tengo que salir de aquí. Para convertirme en uno con mi destino. En uno contigo, perdóname.
Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid.
Hizo algo por ella.
What do you make of this?
Apart from the fact the guy was totally insane? I don't know. What should I?
Madre mía, menuda carta. ¿Algo hizo malo para pedirle perdón? Joder, es que mi teoría es un poco... A ver, es que teniendo en cuenta también por ejemplo, en el Proyecto 02, que está la maldición de las gemelas, hay una parte que se dice algo así como que las dos juntas somos una. Y es que, o sea, sigo con la teoría de que uno de los hermanos mató al otro. Y que por eso dice de... Como que había dicho, he soñado de convertirme en uno con él, ¿verdad? Entonces... Ahí lo dejo.
That maybe we've been chasing the wrong person all this time, Marty.
What do you mean?
Everything will be revealed soon.
Why do you have to be so melodramatic all of a sudden?
If I'm right, this'll flip the whole case upside down.
What's that, Sonny? A blurb from some horrible novel?
I just have to think things through before I come to any hasty conclusions, Marty.
Ugh, you're killing me. So, what now? Where to?
Back to Clawville, where we can finally put all the pieces together.
Vamos, gemelos enamorados de la misma, no puede acabar bien. Voy a ver qué cena waifu, te dejo la bio. Muchas gracias, Dani.
You're driving
Que
me
te aproveche.
crazy. But all right, let's go home.
No me has visto las... No me ha dejado ver la pared.
Farewell, Miranda, dear. Lovely to meet you.
So, you'll remember my name?
Marty McChicken never forgets, ma'am.
Oh,
Furry gods. Let's go. Goodbye, miss. It was a pleasure.
goodbye, gentlemen, and happy investigating.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
If there's anything I can help you with, please just ask.
Thank you, Miranda. You've already helped enough. Oh, I don't believe this. Those two again?
Take him out. My car won't last much longer.
Don't worry, Sonny. I was born to do this.
Concentrate, Marty, for the God's sake.
Can you drive like you're not a fucking lunatic?
Shut up and shoot, you big feather pillow.
Logro desbloqueado a oscuras. Por haberle roto los faros.
Are you blind or what? Where did you learn to shoot?
Whew. Well, that was close.
A little too close for my taste, and it only strengthens my belief. Wessler is desperate. He knows if we survive, he's done for.
Well, come on, what did you work out? Will you tell me already?
Saca piu piu. Sabe que ya estamos cerca. Por eso, vamos,
Sure.
quiere matarnos.
Let's put the picture together, piece by piece. Let's start from the beginning. So, we got a case.
Vamos a terminar el juego ya. Veo por el principio, nos encargan un caso. Natasha. ¿Débora está muerta? Ah, vale, esto. ¿Mensaje de Natasha? ¿No? Vale, un trozo de cuadro. Este puede que sea el trozo de cuadro que pintó Albert. Empezamos por el principio, nos encarga un caso. Natasha intentó mantener ese cuadro en secreto y que no lo viéramos. Natasha intentó mostrarnos el cuadro. Natasha quería que encontráramos el cuadro para ella. O Natasha quería destruir el cuadro para ocultar lo que le ocurrió a Albert. Bueno, necesitaba destruir el cuadro. Creo que quería que encontráramos el cuadro. Pues no. ¿Intentó mostrarnos el cuadro?
Natasha tried to show us the painting.
Pistas. Esto.
And that painting would have shown us the way.
Ese cuadro nos habría mostrado el camino hacia Evan y Albert Wessler. Albert presentó a Natasha, así que se reunió con ella más de una ocasión. Hacia el escondite secreto de Albert. Tenemos que encontrarlo. Hacia el cadáver de Albert Wessler, que obviamente ya es historia, gracias a Zip. Hacia el manicomio donde podemos averiguar que Evan mató a Albert porque sabía lo del cuadro. Si fue Albert el que la pintó.
To Ibn and Albert Wessler. Albert painted Natasha, so he met her on more than one occasion. Which made Albert...
Lo cual hizo que Albert se enamorase de Natasha y dejó pasar el manicomio hacia un escondrijo secreto que aún tenemos que encontrar. Que Albert matase a su hermano, ocupase su lugar y forzase a Natasha a inventarse esta historia de las amenazas. Se enamorase de Natasha y en una noche fatídica matara a su hermano para ocupar su lugar en secreto y conquistar a Natasha.
Fall in love with Natasha. And on a fateful night, he killed his brother so he could take his place in secret and win Natasha's heart.
Os lo dije, que Albert había matado a Yvonne y se estaba haciendo pasar por él. Es que os lo dije.
So what happens now?
The inevitable, Marty. We're going to the Wessler mansion to confront Ibn with the facts.
You mean Albert, right?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Natasha.
Do you think she knew about it?
Something stinks, Marty. The whole case seems too intricate.
Too many coincidences, right?
Well, well, after 10 years, you did learn something, didn't you?
9.
You're right.
Huh.
What?
You just laughed, Sonny.
What? No, I snorted.
No, you laughed.
Ah, just leave it, Marty.
I'll be telling this to my grandchicks.
All right, pal, that's enough.
Okay. So, Albert fell madly in love with Natasha and decided to have her for himself.
Madre mía, mis teorías, ¿eh? Es que es eso, amor entre... O sea, un trío amoroso, dos de ellos son hermanos. Es que blanco y en botella.
And his best chance was to trade places with Ibn Wessler.
So that's why the torn out tongue.
Yeah, Ibn couldn't squeal even if he wanted to.
Claro, para que no dijese
What a diabolical plan.
que Albert se había intercambiado con él.
More like insane.
But why the messages then? Why the threats? Albert got what he wanted. He could have got away with it.
I'm not a psychologist, Marty, but remember what the doctor told us. Albert has a seriously injured mind and a split personality. I think his two identities were at war with each other.
So the messages were written by one of his personalities, consumed by jealousy?
Something like that, Marty. But we can only learn the whole truth from him.
You're right. So, are we going or what?
We're going, Marty, to finally finish what we started.
Vamos a terminar ya.
If there's anything you'd like to do before, do it now, boss. You won't have a chance later.
You're right, Marty. It's time to wrap everything up.
Buah.
I see we're ready.
You'll need a shotgun for this kind of deal, Marty. Maybe even that won't be enough.
Nothing to fear while Bertha's here.
Sí, la
Even
verdad.
less because you're here too with Mr. Sinclair, of course.
Should I cry?
That would be nice for a change.
Oh.
Do you remember that case with the goat?
Which one?
When that demented wolf devoured the kids of a young goat mother, and in revenge, she cut open his stomach and filled it with rocks.
Están contando el cuento de Caperucita Roja. ¿No? Oye, ya me estoy confundiendo yo de cuento.
Do I remember? I'll never forget it. Hell, that was a slaughterhouse. As far as I know, she even took the remains of the kids with her. But how did that come to mind?
This was that shop. The goat mother was running it. They found the dead wolf in here.
Vamos a ver la luz del día en screenshot.
This one exactly? Good gods.
Yeah, before it was closed down, when there was still some life here. Not even that now, just the void.
Yeah, spooky place, that's for sure.
Still, I love to live here.
Sonny, you're creepy. I just realized. Ibn at the
Termina
shop
la
club.
boluda. Estáis ahí. Ah.
Yes, Marty. Albert's been Ibn for a long time now. Do you remember what Natasha said about him?
That he's been acting strange.
Es
recently?
verdad. Lo dijo también Natasha.
Exactly. Like, he's not himself anymore.
It was almost hitting us in the face, huh?
Don't blame yourself, Marty. We couldn't have figured that out just by ourselves. The whole story's too twisted for that.
Well, it's how we make our living, Sonny. And I'm sure we'll have plenty more twisted cases to come.
Who knows, Marty? It's not up to us. It's mostly not up to us, in fact.
Yeah, right. Do you think the asylum was in on it? I mean, covering up Albert's disappearance?
No creo.
You know that reptiles give me the creeps. One of them even set fire to that ship. But oddly enough, the doctor seemed honest to me.
He seemed like a
Buenos días
patient
por
to
la
me.
noche.
Seriously, I thought everyone was crazy in that place.
¿Qué tal está, bebé?
Yeah, whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process, he doesn't become a monster.
Are you still talking about the doctor?
Good question.
Yo, con todo esto, yo sirvo de detective, me da a mí, porque vamos, o sea... Fue eso, o sea, saber que esto iba a ser así, o sea...
So, what's the plan? We shove the
Quiero lo de
letter
los
and our theory
gemelos.
in his face and see what happens?
O sea, que había hecho Albert lo de matar a su hermano. O sea, ¿no?
Something like that, Marty. I think our presence will be enough for the truth to come out.
I really hope you're right, Boss Bird.
We have no other choice. So I hope so too.
Do you think it's a love triangle? I mean, could Natasha love Albert as well?
Good question, Marty. But I don't think so. When I first spoke to Natasha, she told me she loved Ibn in her own way.
In her own way, huh? And could she love 2 rats in her own way?
Maybe. Maybe she even suspected the truth, but didn't dare admit it, even to herself.
So, what do you think now that it's clearer?
I don't know, Marty, but I believe Natasha didn't mean to be bad. Not intentionally, at least.
Boss, but we'll find that out pretty soon, I guess.
I think Natasha was very much aware that wherever she goes, disaster follows her. But it's not her fault, and she can't do anything about it.
Really? You don't say. Someone remarkably similar came to mind right now.
You mean me, right?
Who can even read minds?
Maybe you're right, Marty. Maybe you're right. Hey, Lewis. You weren't awake all night because of us, were ya?
I've never
O sea,
been
ya
this
estamos por la
excited,
mañana.
Sonny. Seriously, it is a great honor to be part of the team. What is it?
You, Lewis. You don't stutter anymore.
What?
Just now, you didn't stutter.
¿De
Not even a
verdad?
little.
Oh, I must be exhausted. It happens sometimes.
And it's back.
So, thanks again, Lewis. You always get us out of trouble.
Come on, boys. Don't even mention it. It is me who is grateful to be a part of an adventure of the chicken police.
Maybe the last one, too.
Hey, Sonny, don't spoil his mood. He's so cute.
Pardon?
Nothing. Nothing. Did you forget anything, Sonny?
No, I just thought I'd take a look. Might be the last time I see it.
You becoming sentimental?
Who knows? Maybe I am.
Oh, that's cute.
Should I say it?
I know, Sonny. I can still get out.
But you won't.
On the beak.
Thanks, pal.
Forget about it. I'd be bored to death otherwise.
Quiere ver por última vez su despacho. Vamos a ir a casa de vacaciones. Podemos ir a zonas limitadas.
We're looking for more evidence?
No, I was just thinking we could take another look. You know, just in case.
Okay, sure. But
Don't even ask, Marty.
you're really becoming sentimental.
One more word and I swear I'm...
Yep, I'm gonna shut it.
Es que lo que quiero es saber si hay algo que pueda coger.
You don't want to go in there just like that. It's a closed crime scene.
I hope you're just messing with me, Marty.
Of course I'm messing with you. Let's get inside there and see how much the boys have messed up the place. You know, Sonny,
Vale, ya se han llevado el
when
cuerpo.
we entered the room and saw the girl,
Deborah.
yeah, her body, I called you every name in the book inside my head. I just had enough, you know? I wanted to quit.
What kept you with me? Was it just curiosity?
No. I just wanted to see your downfall, boss. I wanted to be there when you met your end, get humiliated or even shot.
Wow. Well, thanks for your honesty, Marty.
Cuánta confianza
But then
en un
everything
amigo,
changed on the ship.
On the ship? Why there?
I don't know. Being tied up with you, waiting for certain death. I know I lashed out at you, but in truth, I felt there was no place I'd rather be. It was my place on that fucking burning ship with you, even if we both died there. Know what I mean?
I think I do, Marty. I think I do.
So, I guess there's nowhere to go but forward, huh?
Hombre, ya
Nothing left to do
sabemos
but
la
kill a
solución.
rat. As the chicken
Bueno,
police.
solución, ya sabemos Todo, ¿qué
For the
pasó?
last time?
For the last clucking time, partner.
Swear?
I swear.
All right. Let's hit the road.
Logro desbloqueado, sombras del pasado. Es que por esto quería mirar las zonas. Por si había algo.
Any better?
Not really.
I'm curious about how they killed her. There were no injuries on her body as far as we could see.
Well, if all goes well, we'll learn about that soon.
Or not.
Or not. Wouldn't be the first time. Natasha became even more mysterious with every detail we learned about her.
Re facilito, la mejor folla detective de la historia. Agüita, agüita.
You fell for her hard, huh?
It's nothing like that, Marty. I only met her one time. It just makes me crazy if I can't solve something. And she's something I just can't solve.
Maybe you have to accept this one, Boss Bird. That woman's out of your league. From a different world entirely.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Human, huh? My partner.
You're who?
Esto ya.
Nice.
Yeah.
Esto no cambia.
Ah, you know, Sonny, few places are
Seguirá
as
sin
cozy
estar
as the
zip.
hot dog at dawn.
You have a point.
The silence, the fog, the sunshine slowly devouring the sleeping city.
The smell.
Yeah, the Cobbler district has its own distinctive aroma, that's for sure. But wait, do you smell that?
Ah, it seems Zip is ready with the first
Pues sí,
batch
está
of
Zip.
coffee.
That's waiting only for us, my friend.
Ya no está la mosca. Dios, la colmena se ve.
Roachtown stirring.
Thank the gods we're not going to be here when it's fully awake.
I think the buzzing of the hive has its own charm, you know?
Yeah, from afar, on a postcard maybe. But for real? Thanks, but no thanks.
Ha quitado el cuadro. Oye, el cuadro, el papel.
Old Zip's finally come to his senses.
I think we may have got to him.
We get to everybody, Boss Bird. Everybody.
Ahí yo recuerdo que ahí ponía... escuchamos que está en el aro. Ahí en el papel ponía que los bichos fuera. Que no se aceptaban los bichos aquí.
Well, he's out. He's brave indeed. Or an idiot.
They're often the same, Marty. And you should know.
You know, Sonny. They told me I could stay in there for 48 hours if I wanted.
Well, maybe you should have done that.
Shit, I had enough. Fuck it. You understand? When you interrogated me, you opened my eyes. I don't give a shit about him, about Wessler and his henchmen. Let them come if they want. It's not gonna be easy for them. You can be sure of that.
That's the Zip we know and love.
Thanks, Marty. So, why you here?
One last coffee before the end.
You
Que
going
ya
to get him?
lo hemos resuelto. Ya vamos a resolver el caso.
We don't have a choice, Zip. We're grabbing the rat by the tail. No screwing around. No playing it nice.
Ah, I see Ibben's really got to you.
Just Sonny. I'm like this all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Bueno, no, espérate, no nos hemos tomado el cafelito. Dame un café, ¿no?
Hey, Zip, listen here. This coffee, it's 2 days old.
And?
Nothing.
Recógelo. Bueno, pues no nos tomamos el café. ¿Para qué? ¿El kiosco?
Well, if we have
Ay,
anything
Alfonso, ¿qué
else to
tal?
ask the old beaver, this is the last chance.
Hey, don't steal my style.
Just learning from the best.
Ay, no podía venir antes, no te preocupes.
Let me give you some advice. Don't.
Ya vamos a resolver el caso, o sea, ya lo sabemos, ya sabemos todo lo que pasó. Que madre mía, yo dije mi teoría y es esa. Es que...
Does the name Albert mean anything to you?
I know multiple Alberts, Sonny. Which one do you mean?
Yo valgo para ser una... pollo detective.
Albert Wessler.
I see you're in a funny mood, Sonny boy.
I'm not joking, Mullen, but I'm surprised there's something I know and you don't.
And who is this Albert anyway? Ibn Wessler's hidden son, maybe?
Even better, my friend. His secret twin brother.
Oh, you've walked into trouble there.
I was hoping you could tell me something useful about him.
I can, Sonny boy. Avoid him. Avoid the whole Wessler family. Those who happen upon secrets that deep sink without a trace.
Well, I used to be a professional swimmer. Didn't you know?
No, I didn't.
I lied. What's it called?
Since there's only one of those around Clawville, I know which one you mean, Sonny. It's an ancient mansion, easily around 100 years old for sure, or more. But what do you want to know about it anyway?
We actually just got out of there.
That explains everything.
Seriously, what do you know about it?
The place is self-sufficient in theory, but in reality, the Crown maintains it. No one knows the exact reason why, but according to gossip, they used to keep someone in there. Someone who was either part of the royal family or just very close to the
Supongo que eso en el
Who
pasado.
knows? Maybe it's just a legend.
Well, they say we're legends too, and we're standing right in front of you. Am I right?
Está generando suspense.
What can I say
Me
then?
gusta hacerlo. Me gusta generar suspense.
This Albert, he had to paint a picture of Natasha at his brother's request.
Este ya se lo cuenta todo a este señor, ¿sabes?
Let me guess. He fell in love with her.
Yeah, classic, huh? Then he killed his brother and took his place.
Yeah, well, that's a classic too. So, you're telling me who goes by Ibn Wessler is not really Ibn Wessler?
Exactly. He's Albert, a dangerous lunatic with multiple personality disorder.
O sea, antes de ir a hablar con el asesino y contarle todo y decir, oye, que estás arrestado y tal, vamos a hablar con un señor y le contamos todo.
Lads, I guess
Okay.
that Miss Marble's going to write another one of those novels about this.
You mean Meredith? Oh, that's just what we need.
Once you sold your soul, it's too late to cry about it, sonny boy.
That's what I keep telling him.
Do you know Dr. Quetzal?
Do you mean Professor Quetzalcoatlus? Yeah, now you laugh at this, but we went to university together.
A ver, lo que nos queda es ir a ver al búho, al médico, y creo que ya nos vamos directamente para la residencia. No sé si también podemos ir a la comisaría.
You did what?
Do I not look the type to you?
No, well, I didn't mean that. I just didn't know you went to university.
I studied psychology, sonny, only I forgot to graduate. That's when my father died.
Oh,
So that's why you
pues
know
no
the
sé.
animals so well.
No, I know them well because I have a newspaper stand and I talk to hundreds of animals each day. And I listen to the everyday problems of almost all of them. There's no better lesson in animal studies.
You surprise me every time, old beaver. And what do you know about him? Can he be trusted?
You're afraid he screwed you? He looks like a terribly dishonest snake, but don't let your prejudices overshadow what your wattle tells you. Quetzal's one of the kindest-hearted and most honest animals I've ever known.
Vale, podemos confiarnos
That's good to know, Uncle Mullen.
la
Or
serpiente.
rather, Professor Mullen.
Hey, don't get cocky with me, little chickie.
Pollo pera.
What do you know about the Wessler Mansion, Uncle Mullen?
that if you're about to go there, bring a tank with you, or two.
Dangerous, you mean?
Dangerous? It's a fortress, so it has giant walls, watchtowers, and of course, Wesley's hired thugs are waiting for you there.
Yeah, sounds great.
It's a beautiful place, I must admit. At least you'll kick the bucket with mouths hanging open in wonder.
That's something.
Good attitude, my lad. Keep it.
Ahora desbloqueado el explorador. Mira, Úrsula.
No hard feelings?
What can I say, boys? I have a big, soft heart.
Anda, mira, un oso que no me mata. Como en el rune.
You sure do, Ursula.
Would you like a nice hot cup of tea?
No thanks, we just came to say goodbye.
Why? You going somewhere? Traveling?
No, we're just visiting a nice place in the city.
Sonny's gonna die.
Shut up, Marty.
So it's a case. Well, be careful, boys. And I'm sorry I snapped at you the last time.
You don't need to say that, Ursula. We deserved it.
You're a good boy, Sonny. And Marty's a downright saint.
Oh, come on, Ursula. Stop that.
¿Y Bubo?
Hey, Boobo.
Hello, old man.
Está sobado.
Is he asleep?
But his eyes are open.
Boobo!
Hey, what is it? I wasn't sleeping.
You were something.
What the hell are you doing here, chickens?
Sonny wanted to say hi before he suffers an unpleasant death of lead poisoning later tonight.
Would you shut the clock up, Marty? You're not funny.
I am a little bit.
Esto se piensa que vamos a morir normal, así que...
You're going to Wessler's, huh?
Bingo. We're gonna put an end to this madness.
Ooh. Or you're stirring up an even bigger madness, am I right?
Well, that's always a possibility.
Get yourself killed for all I care, but don't come here covered in blood, because I'm not gonna open the door for you, I swear.
Oh, thanks for the support, old fart.
Don't mention it, you old gizzard.
Molleja. Vale. Pues ya, chicos, nos vamos a por el final.
The sun was shining, and all the ducks were in a row.
No.
I felt ready. The pieces of the grand puzzle were laid out on the table. I just needed to piece them all together. A revealing glance or a careless word, and I'd have the answer. I knew we were in the right place. I knew it was nearly over. Was Natasha really just a victim? Or did she know everything? Was she controlling the puppets from behind the curtain? Well, if you don't know where to go straight ahead. What could possibly go wrong?
Qué detalles tiene, ¿eh? En lo que es la imagen, tío.
Here I am, Natasha. I hope you're waiting for me.
Aquí estoy, Natasha. ¿Me estás esperando?
Furry gods. I knew he was rich, but wow.
Half the city is in his hands, Marty, and half the Council of 12.
I think we'll catch a big fish today.
Don't count your chickens. I'm sure Wessler's expecting us, and Natasha too, I hope.
You hope?
If I'm right, she could be our only chance of survival.
Es nuestra clienta.
Lovely prospects, huh?
Bueno, mañana más y mejor. No, no, no. Ya lo acabamos.
I've had worse.
Really?
Ya acabamos el caso. Vaya.
Not so fast, chickens. Please excuse my partner. He didn't mean to be rude. It's just his terrible habits, as you may already know.
Ah, look what the cat dragged in.
Los
Funny, I
pocos y
don't
parió la abuela.
recognize them.
Well, maybe if they had some guns with them? Tommy guns?
Oh yeah, now I remember. The two suckers in the luxury van you shot to pieces. Twice.
Caraculos.
Exactly.
What are you doing here, chickens? Would you like us to finish what we started?
We'd love to have fun with you boys, but we need to talk to your boss. And while we're at it, the lady of the house is also expecting us.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so horny.
Pues ni
In that
gordo.
case, I guess there's no reason for us to waste your precious time.
Ni gordo
Is
había
that right,
dicho.
Gabriel?
No, gordo. Gordo.
Get the hell out of our sight while there are still feathers on your skin, chickens.
Easy, pal. We're not even here anymore. Until next time, boys.
Bueno, ya vamos al final.
This must lead to Wessler and Natasha's suite.
Well, let's get the big guns out and kick the door down.
No need for that, Marty. We'll wait until they invite us in, like real gentlemen. Then maybe we'll need the guns. But I hope it won't come to that.
Oh, my trigger finger's itching, Sonny. Someone's gotta pay.
Relax, Marty. Someone is gonna pay. Tonight.
Yeah, just don't let it be us.
Voy a ver si hay algo por aquí. Y creo un coleccionable.
This place is incredible.
Porque no sé
but
si
it
tengo
kinda
todas.
gives me the creeps.
Pero esto, o sea, ya sabéis que he visto todo.
Because you know what lies behind the beauty.
With Natasha, too?
I haven't decided yet.
No hemos visto todavía a Molly. Supongo que a Molly la veremos... ya.
Ah, what a pleasant surprise. Hello, Olivia. Sweetie.
Get lost.
Y no sabemos qué pasó con la hija de nuestro prota.
What did you say, ma'am?
Turn around and get the hell out of here now, if you want to make it out with feathers intact.
Supuestamente Molly se la llevó, supongo, creo, con ella.
Come on, Olivia. Don't worry about us. We know what we're doing.
Martin,
Huh?
don't you get it? You have to get out of here or you'll be in danger, and also her.
Do you mean Natasha? Please calm down, miss. We have to talk to Mr. Wessler and Miss Katsenko.
You really don't understand, do you?
Vale, ella sabe que ocurre algo.
What do they not understand, Olivia? So, what is it exactly that our guests don't understand?
I was trying to tell the detectives that Mr. Wessler's very tired and doesn't welcome guests this early. He gets rather irate if he's being disturbed at this hour.
I'm sure Mr. Featherland and Mr. McChicken can wait here while Ibn refreshes himself. I'll entertain them until then.
Thank you, Miss Katsenko.
Please, Sonny, I thought we've already discussed this. Call me Natasha.
Natasha.
Please, Natasha, can we talk to you in private?
Martin?
It's all right, Olivia. These gentlemen are my friends.
Yes, Miss Katsenko.
Not yet.
You're right, Sonny.
Pero no podemos hablar con ella aquí.
The truth is, Ibn isn't really in a good shape
Lo de
today.
la hija para la expansión.
He's rather furious. Are you sure this can't wait?
You commissioned us, Natasha, and we barely escaped with our combs intact.
So you know who left the threats?
Oh, we know much more than that, Natasha. We even know where you used to work. We talked to Madame Zavas.
Wild gods.
Why didn't you tell us?
Do you think it's easy for a woman to talk about such things, that she used to be an escort?
Along with Molly?
So you know.
Yeah, I know, Natasha. I also know all of this was a trap.
Believe me, I tried to handle things the least painfully I could. You weren't even supposed to know.
A lot shouldn't have happened. Poor Deborah shouldn't have had to die.
Dear sweet Deborah.
Cold, stiff Deborah.
Please don't say that.
Se ha pasado un poco, ¿eh?
A price worth paying?
You cannot think I had anything to do with that. You just cannot.
I don't know, Natasha.
Please, Sonny, tell me, what is going on?
You have to know, right?
Please.
Excuse me for making you wait, detectives. I'm having a rough morning after a long night.
Is that so? Our night was also kinda long.
To put it mildly.
I was just telling the
Ha sido una noche movidita, ¿no? Para nosotros un poco.
And they should come back another time. I'll escort them out.
Oh, honey, no need for that. My door's always open to the legendary chicken police. Please, come on in, guys. Let's talk in my room.
Then this way, please.
You just stay here, my darling. I'm sure our conversation will bore you to death. Please, go and refresh yourself, or tell Olivia to go make some coffee.
Entra tú también.
Yes, dear. Whatever you like.
Please, follow me, gents.
Lead on, Wessler. So long, sweetheart.
Ella tiene que entrar también. Vaya por Dios. ¡Qué cuadro! Brandy.
Would you like a drink? This is a rather rare brandy. It lifts the spirits, if I may be so, poetic.
Really? Tempting, but I need to keep a clear head, Mr. Wessler.
Yeah, I've heard you don't despise a good vintage.
And I've heard you don't despise murder, Wessler. By the way, you've heard right. But everything has its place and time. Drinks, guns, dead bodies, and the truth.
Yeah, I see you're in a poetic mood as well.
More like prophetic.
And that's not a good sign.
El brandy a la saca sin que nadie nos vea, exacto.
Are you trying to intimidate me?
No, that's not how we do business. We're gentlemen.
I really hope so.
Tiene una pistola, tiene un revólver aquí.
Do you keep a revolver in your bedroom?
Yeah, a bad habit. One who has a lot to lose has a lot to fear.
I agree.
Hemos cogido el coleccionable y no parece que sea el último, por lo menos no me han dado el logro. Y yo he mirado todo, o sea que no sé qué me puede faltar.
Well, thank you.
I suppose it took years and years of cumbersome work to build it.
Yeah. As you say, Mr. Featherland, I'm rather proud of it.
You should be. Whoever built this place has a reason to be proud of himself.
Are you trying to say something?
Hola Javi, ¿qué tal? Muchas gracias por el host. Oh,
No,
¿qué tal?
just thinking aloud.
So, what do you want to know?
Logro desbloqueado, un
You've
tipo
been through a
sociable.
rather eventful few days.
Oh, you have rather good informants.
Yeah, that's true. I should tell you, I see and hear everything that happens in the city. And you are exceptionally resilient. No offense.
None taken. But tell me, are we gonna flatter each other for a long time, or are we finally done with the courting?
Straight to the point. I like it. Yeah, so let's continue like that, shall we? What do you want? How dare you intrude upon me in my own house?
Oh, forgive us. Our moral compass has been confused a little bit after someone tried to kill us several times in the last 48 hours. With fire, with machine guns. I could go on.
And while we're at it, you could answer some of our questions. If you've nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear.
And then we'll just leave you alone.
All right. I'll go along with your childish little game. I would have had a long and tedious day ahead of me anyway. So, can we start?
With pleasure, Mr. Wessler. I have
Natasha.
no idea what she sees in you, but Natasha's been seriously worried about you.
Yeah, she, really worries more than usual, but it's understandable. Those disgusting messages.
Disgusting, all right. Do you know why that word exactly? Why did they write that specific word everywhere?
Since you've been to the Nile, I guess you know the answer to your question.
Didn't it bother you, Wessler? What Natasha used to do? Surely it must have upset you.
Why? Did it upset you when you discovered your wife did the same thing?
What did you just say?
What did you think, chicken? That I didn't know? Yeah, don't make me laugh. I know about everyone who ever set foot in that place. I can even tell you who Molly's regulars were, if you're interested.
You son of a bitch.
Sonny, don't.
Creo el chicken está ahí.
Yes, detective?
Not yet.
You're right, Marty. It's not worth it.
You're funny, you know that?
About the painting.
Yeah. My brother Albert made it. He's a great talent, but, still, he's a rather troubled individual.
Such self-criticism.
What did you say?
¿Cómo dice?
My partner means that you and your brother are very much alike. Identical twins, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. But, what does that have to do with the painting?
We'll get to that. Don't worry, Mr. Wessler. So Albert made the painting at your request, is that right?
Madre
And the one
mía,
that's in Natasha's
ahí
room in the
la
Czar,
pollita, ¿eh?
too.
¿Cómo se tiran pullas?
Exactly. Is that a crime?
No, it's not a crime in itself. This picture, it's rather strange, you know?
Why do you think so? It's just me, Natasha, and my brother.
The photo doesn't tell much in itself, yes. But if you already have the right information, suddenly it starts to talk.
Really?
He fell in love with her.
Who'd you mean?
Albert, of course. He fell in love with Natasha. All those sessions while he was painting the pictures. Were you there every time?
You mean, me?
You.
No. I mean, while Albert was painting, yeah, but I wasn't there all the time. Albert was there, all alone.
And you think he could have
Ahí lo
fallen in
desintegré.
love with
Antes de que
Natasha?
terminase.
That's why he escaped? What do you think happened to him? Who tore out his tongue?
I have no idea.
Did
And now,
Natasha
Lisa?
know about what happened to your brother?
No, of course not.
Do you love beautiful things, Wessler?
Why do you ask that? Yeah, of course.
You were afraid of losing her, weren't you? To him.
Stop. Enough. If you want to ask something, ask clearly. Don't play with me. You understand?
We're just doing our job.
Then do it clearly. And quickly. Yeah, I'm really starting to lose my patience.
We visited Albert's cell and found something he seems to have forgotten to take with him in his great hurry.
That's a big mistake.
A classic, even.
What the hell are you babbling about?
This is Albert Wessler's love letter to Natasha.
More like a confession.
In which he tells her he's capable of doing anything for her. Even the most
Matar a su
horrible
hermano.
Yeah,
De
this
eso
letter
sería
doesn't
capaz.
prove anything at all. Albert is mad. Insane. He's not normal. No one would believe his word, don't you understand?
But they believe yours, right? Because you're not Albert Wessler. You're Hobart Ibn Wessler, aren't you? How good it feels to be in his skin.
How dare you?
Just tell him, Sonny. I'm getting tired of this.
You're just a cheap fake, Albert. You couldn't follow in your brother's footsteps even if you wanted to. No matter how hard you tried, you couldn't get Natasha either. Am I right?
What? What did you just say?
She hates you, doesn't she? She doesn't know. She doesn't understand why. But she hates you. It's instinctive.
Yeah, what do you know? What could you possibly know about suffering and loneliness and the darkness? What could you know about hate, huh?
Vamos, por el final.
Albert is an imposter. He's not who he says he is, and might not even know who he really is. I have to concentrate on this first, to soften him up, and to avoid us being shot in the gizzard, of course.
¿En qué pensabas, Albert? ¿Cuánto tiempo creías que lo podrías mantener en secreto?
What were you thinking, Albert? How long did you think you could keep it up?
Until the end of my life, if needs. Yeah, I cared about nothing except for her to love me. Not for who Ibn was, but for who I am.
Why did you think that would happen? Everybody noticed the change.
Yeah, I knew it would be hard, Santino. But I also knew animals see what they want to see. I didn't have to behave like Ibn. They only had to believe I'm him.
Querías meter a todo el mundo en tu repulsivo jueguecito, ¿eh? ¿Cuándo decidiste ocupar el lugar de tu hermano? Voy a decir eso.
Why did you decide to take your brother's place?
Yeah, as you're curious, from the moment I laid eyes on Natasha for the first time. But I had to convince myself that this was the only way.
Vaya rata.
You've never talked about your feelings for Natasha with your brother, am I right?
Are you insane? Yeah, Ibn would have had me killed immediately. And no one would ever know.
So instead, you've done the same thing, haven't you?
Comfortable.
Ahí le he
Do
dado
you
sin
think all
querer.
of this was just some kind of cruel game for me? I had to destroy the person I loved and respected the most.
Cry me a river.
Yeah, you know, there's only a thin, fragile membrane between love and hate. If anything touches it, it tears immediately. You felt like this before, haven't you? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes.
You can analyze me until the sun goes down, Wessler, but you won't get far with that.
Yeah, evasive answer. So I'm right.
¿Por qué tuviste que mutilar a Ibn? ¿Por qué no lo mataste sin más? ¿Alguna vez te has llegado a creer que eras Ibn Wessler? ¿Por qué tuviste que mutilarlo?
Why did you have to mutilate Ibn? Why didn't you just kill him immediately?
That's an interesting question, you see, but the answer is exceptionally simple. No matter how strange it is for you to understand, I loved my brother.
Weird way of showing your love, Albert.
You can't understand that. He was my everything, the only one who was close to me. Until I met Natasha.
She took your brother's place pretty quickly, didn't she? There's not much room in your heart, as I see it.
Yeah, you're understanding the situation, Detective, but you know, very well it's not that simple. Ibn was my brother. I loved him despite all of his flaws and foul, petty lies. That's why I couldn't kill him.
Not immediately, you mean?
Unfortunately, tearing out his tongue wasn't enough. Yeah, I must admit I've underestimated him.
Era mafioso.
And poking out his eye?
Oh, that was just an accident, Mr. Featherland.
Just an accident? You're a dirty, clucking son of a vermin, Albert.
A la rata se le puede aplicar la frase de El ladrón se piensa que todos son de su misma condición.
Please, don't be vulgar, Sonny. It's too dangerous in your current situation and doesn't even suit you.
¿Entonces sigues creyendo que eres dos personas al mismo tiempo, incluso ahora? ¿Te lo pasaste bien arrancándole la lengua a tu propio hermano? ¿Cómo te sentiste? ¿Te complace controlar a otros, Albert? Es que creo que él no se cree que es dos personas. No sé. Vamos a preguntarle eso
So you
mismo.
feel you're two people at the same time, even now.
Does it sound crazy? Maybe it is. But Ibn lives inside me. Sometimes he's even stronger than Albert ever was.
Do you
Entonces
think
sí.
you can avoid the gas chamber with this, Albert?
I don't have to avoid anything, Sonny. You and your friend, will never leave this place. It's better if you start getting used to the thought.
You're not the cold-blooded killer you'd like to think you are.
Yeah, do you think so? Try me, detective.
¿Qué te hizo pensar que podrías engatusar a Natasha? ¿Echar tu plan, ocupar su lugar y vivir felices para siempre? ¿Qué habrías hecho si Natasha lo hubiese descubierto? ¿Matarla a ella también?
What would you have done if Natasha found out? Kill her, too?
You know what? Maybe yeah. Maybe I would have ended myself too.
Narcissistic pricks like you never commit suicide, Albert.
Yeah. Are you sure you want to insult someone who's pointing a revolver at your stomach, detective?
¡Menos 50! ¿Ese era tu plan, ocupar su lugar y vivir felices para siempre?
That was your plan. Take his place and live happily
Está
ever
temblando.
after.
¿Te tiembla la mano?
Why? Isn't it good enough of a plan, Mr. Featherland? It was perfect, even in its imperfection.
Which is?
Ibn's ghost.
Is what?
Please don't take it literally, Mr. Chicken. I'm not talking about spirits. When Ibn died, I didn't just take his place, but also his role. He himself, his essence, if you will. Yeah, though I guess that's too much for you to understand.
La vas a niñar por el tiro de una rata.
You mean Ibn's here with us even now?
He was here all along. Don't you get it? I am Hobart Ibn Wessler.
I must get serious, because looking at the gun in Wessler's trembling hand, I'm afraid I don't have much time. Albert is a cruel psychopath, but maybe I can turn that cruelty against him.
Más 20. ¿En qué momento decidiste matarle a Albert?
When was the moment you decided to kill him, Albert?
When I drew the last stroke on that fatal painting, Mr. Featherland. When I glanced at it for the last time, and then at Natasha, who was shivering under the weight of my gaze.
You simply fell in love with her? End of story?
Not in the slightest, Mr. Featherland. Love is, just chemistry. What I felt was more than that.
Everybody thinks that, Albert. But we all feel the same. We're just fools.
No, Mr. Featherland. Not at all. At that moment, I knew what I was gonna do. I knew that the world was coming to an end if I didn't do it. It implodes on itself and ceases to exist. I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't.
Let him have her, right? You simply wanted her for yourself.
I wanted her for ourselves, Sonny. I was him by then. He just didn't know it yet.
Solo que él no lo sabía. ¿Te crees que puedes explicarlo todo alegando que estás loco? No eras más que un impostor de pacotilla, lo sabes, ¿verdad? ¿Qué hiciste para que Ibn te encerrara? Te ha encantado tener a todo el mundo comiendo de tu manita, ¿eh? ¿Qué hiciste para que Ibn te encerrara?
What did you do that made Ibn get you locked up?
That's a sharp turn, detective.
It just came to me, you know? Where did it all start? Where did all the hate and jealousy come from?
Jealousy? What are you talking about?
Estaba celoso de que tu hermano estuviese con ella.
Oh, come on, Albert. Alone. locked up
Y
at
que él
the end of
viviese
the
así de esa
world,
manera.
while your brother is one of the most influential figures of Clawville, driving an expensive car, living in a mansion, with the city's most desirable woman in his bed. Why wouldn't you be jealous?
Yeah, Albert was jealous of Ibn. Maybe he still is. But I understand why he did it. Albert was beyond control and dangerous.
What does that mean exactly?
Albert did our mother wrong. Poor old Mom. She never hurt a fly. But Albert couldn't take that she was praising his brother all the time while Albert was just an unsuccessful, foolish, poor painter.
What did you do to her, Albert?
Albert killed her. It looked like an accident, but Ibn knew it wasn't. That was the last straw. Albert had to be locked up, and he agreed. He never said no to his brother.
Mató a su propia madre.
But he never forgot who did this to him either, did he?
Ibn was really good to him. Visited him every week. Did everything he could. Even introduced Natasha in the end.
And that was his downfall.
Both of them, Sonny. And yours, too.
¿A quién odiabas más, Albert, a Ivan o a ti mismo? ¿Cuándo decidiste que nosotros también teníamos que morir? ¿A quién odiabas más?
Did you hate Ibn or yourself more, Albert?
Albert hated himself the most ever since he was born. He idolized Ibn. But every time his brother stood before him, he saw what he could have been himself if he had enough strength. But he didn't. Albert had always been a coward, a pitiful nobody.
And now?
Finally, there's no more Albert. And no more Ibn either. It's only me, and for both of them, I'm perfect.
Can it be
Si
that
tú lo dices.
the fear is making you say these things, Albert?
Stop calling me that.
I have to call you something. What should I call you? What name should I use?
I don't know anymore. I don't.
No sé si lo has curado o lo has terminado de romper.
I'm very close to breaking him. But if I'm too hard on him, I could quickly be signing my death warrant. It's time to dig a little bit deeper and uncover Wessler's wounds.
Si aún te quedara algo de voluntad, te pondrías esa pistola en la No. Natasha era buena contigo, ¿verdad? Demasiado buena.
Natasha was kind to you, right? Too kind.
Natasha was simply amazing, gentle, kind, lively, but still so distant.
You're telling me.
Ahora sí le tiembla la cabeza incluso y está parpadeando mucho. Y se está poniendo más nervioso.
It's like she was from another world. A world where everything's full of charm and grace and everything's fragile and delicate. Do you understand?
I think I do, yes.
La rata traicionera sucia cloaca con patas.
I knew Albert's touch would harm her. Albert is rough. Albert can't keep such a delicate thing in his arms.
That's why you had to become Ibn, am I right?
I didn't take Ibn's place, Mr. Featherland. I became one with him, can't you see? It's the only way I could comprehend and accept the miracle that was Natasha.
Está loquísimo.
Was.
I think I've corrupted her. She's not that gentle and pure creature I painted on the canvas anymore. I ruined her. She became rotten under my hands.
Yo creo que la idealizó. Puede que aún no sea tarde, Albert. Dile la verdad y pon punto final.
Maybe it's not too late, Albert. Tell her the truth and end this.
No. You can't understand this. She can't either. I killed Ibn, but he also killed me, can't you see? We're nothing without each other.
You can't be two people at the same time, Albert. Nobody can bear the weight of the sins of two souls.
Ibn loved her. I admired her. Ibn was crazy about her. I've been crazy for a long time. Ibn idolized her. and I hated her. And if there's anything more blind, more devoted, more extreme, and more true than love, it could only be hate, Mr. Featherland. It's an endlessly exciting, thrilling, and warm feeling, and infinitely red. Just like love.
Ha pasado demasiado rápido esto, pero bueno. Tiene los piñas. Te mata, se mata.
No, you're not going to be able to go through
No
with
creo.
it, right? That you won't be able to carry the weight. But you still did it. Why?
Yeah, if I didn't kill him and become one with him, Albert would have died, Mr. Featherland.
And the threats? Which one of you was that? Albert or Ibn? Who wrote them? And which one of you killed Deborah?
In my world, Ibn and I are inseparable. Just like love and hate are one and the same. And I hate Natasha so much that I could destroy myself along with her, just so she would die with me. Are you familiar with this feeling, Mr. Featherland?
More than life itself.
You see? We're not so different after all.
You and I have nothing in common, Wessler. You know why?
Why, Mr. Featherland?
Because if I were in your shoes, I would have pulled the trigger a long time ago.
Goodbye, Sonny.
Algo pasó con Molly.
So long, Albert.
Logro desbloqueado. Plumerlock Holmes. Polioxidado. Bueno. ¿Natasha está detrás de él? No sé. ¿Qué he dicho?
So, you heard everything.
Dale, dale. Es que Sony tiene sus añitos ya. ¡La escopeta! ¡Saca Berta! F, ¡oh no!
I heard everything.
I'm sorry you had to find out like this.
And thank you. If it weren't for you...
Yes, both of you would be dead, I know. But believe me, I still thought carefully before firing.
About who to target?
You know, I truly loved Ibn.
But this man wasn't him. You felt it, didn't you?
Maybe I even knew it. I don't know. But I still can't believe it.
It won't be easy to process for any...
I'm sorry I dragged you into this. And regarding Molly...
The cops. But how? How do they know?
I have no idea, Marty.
Do not look at me. I did not call them.
Olivia?
Don't worry, Natasha. They won't lay a finger on you. I promise.
Please, Sonny. You don't need to worry about me.
I don't want to be rude, Sonny, but I'm more worried about us than her. Hello, boss.
Logro desbloqueado. Una dama de armas tomar.
Hello, boys.
Before you say anything, we can explain.
No need for that, Santino. Monica already told me everything.
Monica?
Hey, boys. What were you thinking? That I would just let you get killed without saying goodbye?
Thanks, Mon. Should we say we owe you one?
You know already, boys. Shoes are my weakness.
Aunque, ¿cómo sabía que íbamos a estar aquí? Si no fuimos a la comisaría, ¿por qué no salía?
Hey, mine too.
A Vol that's furry, we don't want to hear that. And boys,
Yes, boss.
don't believe you'll get away with it so easily. I want a report on my desk from both of you with all the details. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It'll all make sense, believe us. Right after I figure out myself what the hell just happened.
What Marty's trying to tell you is that we had good reason to investigate outside the law, but we're sorry.
Te facilito el caso.
What happened to you, Sonny? You're sorry? Did you hit your head?
Why does everybody keep asking that?
Why indeed.
So can we go now, boss? Without getting handcuffed?
Don't give me ideas, Santino.
Thanks, boss. Your way here, Tim. Always where the trouble is.
Sometimes I think you're the criminal mastermind behind all the dark dealings in this city.
Vale, me los apunto. Que son ya casi las 12:15 de la noche.
I wish.
I wish too, because then we could legally throw you in jail.
I love your sense of humor, Sonny.
I wasn't joking.
So, where did you get the scoop?
Are you kidding me? The whole city's talking about you. You've left quite the mess behind.
That I admit.
Well, it's a miracle that all of the city's smear sheet journalists aren't here already. Oh, while we're at it, will you give me an exclusive interview?
La gaviota es la mejor. Esa la jugar al mirar perros dos al caer 4.
Fuck off, Tim.
Hey!
Muchas gracias por pasarte, Daku. Y tengo el mirar perros legionario.
So, what now? Where to next?
I think I should mourn, right?
You should.
But I don't know what to feel anymore, Sonny.
Sí, Daku, el Watch Dogs, el último ya salió, pero... hace ya días.
I understand, Natasha. You know, if you need anything...
Yes, I know where to find you.
See you around, sweetheart.
¿Y Molly?
Goodbye, detectives.
Thanks again, Mon. If not for you, those furheads would have put holes in us.
Hola, Yajilet, justamente ya estamos por el final. Justamente estamos en el final.
No wonder, since you put holes in there, boss.
Well, actually, that wasn't us.
Then who was it?
Natasha.
Really? I wouldn't have thought it of her. It's a pleasant surprise.
It was for us too, believe me.
What? Are you waiting for me to change my mind?
No, sir.
Then stop pecking around here.
Cloquear,
Yes,
por otra
sir.
parte. Ah, bueno, en la entrada. Claro, es que tenía que hablar con
Hey,
estos.
Olivia,
Marty?
I just wanted to thank you
For what exactly?
for trying to save us.
I didn't do it only for you, believe me. I loved my job while I had it. Now my employer's dead.
I didn't even think of that.
Of course you didn't.
Can I do anything to help?
I think I'll manage. I always do.
You're a good boy, Bosco. Nice work.
You know, folks, somebody's gotta take care of the real police work while you're tearing up the city.
Sorry for the mess, Bosco, but you know us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do.
How did you catch them? After the gunshot, I was sure these two would show up. They have a habit of doing that.
They were already in cuffs before then, Sonny. We had the house surrounded. If you could have hung on, maybe nobody would have died.
Voy a ahorrar 25.000 para caja.
Hey, a second longer and it would have been us.
That's your story?
Cluck you sideways, Bosco. Gentlemen?
Gentlemen?
We're honestly very sorry it had to end like this.
Yeah, this peacefully.
For myself, I'm glad, gentlemen. I would have sincerely regretted it if we had to shoot both of you, but unfortunately, that seemed to be the only solution to this, rather nasty situation.
Don't think we'll be behind bars for long, chickens. Whistler may be dead, but his empire still won't crumble.
Oh, look at that. He can talk.
¿A manos de quién? ¿De Natasha?
In complex sentences, too.
Yeah, or something like that.
Amazing.
Seguimos sin poder irnos.
Just one quote, guys. They say you've taken down the whole Whistler Empire. They say...
I say you're full of shit, Tim, and you can quote me on that.
No sé qué hacer, ¿qué
Look at
hago?
all these...
Yeah.
No puedo entrar aquí, en la casa.
If there's any...
Thank you, Martin.
Nice catch, Bosco.
Yeah, I wish I could, Sonny.
How did you know we were here?
I always pay attention, Sonny. And because I know you like you are my own nestlings.
No, I love it when you say pretty little things like that.
Don't get used to it, Marty.
Que tiene que pasar algo, ¿no? No sé. Me huele que ya está, se acabó. Queda filmar.
What are you doing here?
I was just driving around. You know.
Trying to feed your grandpa? So? Was it a case? Were you, maybe investigating us?
What can I say, Sonny? Am I busted?
Did someone hire you to follow us?
I just had to keep an eye on you and not get involved. That's all. I admit there were a couple of crazy situations when it was hard not to.
But you managed somehow, right?
A professional's a professional, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. So you won't tell us who hired you, whatever we do?
Unfortunately, I can't, my friend. I made a promise.
Mónica?
You and your promises.
Some people still take them seriously.
You're a real piece of guano. You know that?
Of course. I've learned everything from you, you old fart.
Viejo chocho.
Must be some famous historical figure. How are you with history?
Not so good.
You know, I've always been fascinated by the Founding War, especially the last great battle between the Alliance and the Swamp Clans.
Don't believe the tales they tell about the war, Marty. There's nothing glorious or beautiful in it. Just endless suffering and misery.
And a lot of money, of course.
That too.
So, here they are, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicken Police. In the flesh.
Sí, esto era.
Damn it, Tim. Drop it and cluck off.
Oh, no, boys. This time, you deserve it.
What the cluck did you say, boss?
Stand up straight and try to look like someone who's glad to be alive.
Yes, sir. We'll try.
Ooh, attention Chicken Police. Say cheese.
Logro desbloqueado. ¿Los detectives están otra vez juntas? Con Berta. ¡Ole! Por si acaso.
Natasha?
You were expecting me, weren't you?
I wouldn't say that, but I'm not surprised.
I just wanted to talk to you.
About what exactly?
You know very well.
What do you think, Natasha? Why didn't she tell me?
Because she loved you.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for you, she may have never left the place. Perhaps she'd still be there.
Ah, sheep shit.
We used to dream about falling in love with a nice man who comes and saves us someday. A knight in shining armor. You know, like in the fairy tales.
And how did that work out for you?
She fell in love with a good guy. I didn't. I envy her.
I'm not that good guy, Natasha. But if it's any consolation, she could have found him. Maybe she's living with him right now, somewhere on the other side of the world.
Well, goodbye, Sonny.
So long, sweetheart. Hey, Natasha, you have a light? I've been trying to smoke this sorry-ass cig all day. It's driving me crazy.
Maybe you don't really need it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe.
Cinco, 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 dos, dos, tres. 5, 5, 5, 2, 2, 3, ¿vale? ¿Qué? Muchísimas gracias por haber estado aquí hoy. Muchas gracias por todo el apoyo siempre que me dais. Bye.